If you loved Suits for Harvey Specter's confidence, Mike Ross's brilliance, the mind games, the characters, the sharp courtroom dramas, but you have already rewatched it like a million times and you need something new, I'm going to give you five legal dramas that are just as amazing that you need to start watching right now. First up, The Lincoln Lawyer. Now, Mickey Haller isn't your typical polished corporate lawyer. He's messy, he's sharp, and extremely good at reading people. He works out of his car and heavily relies on his tight knit team, especially his investigator and his ex wife, who's also a prosecutor. He approaches cases like puzzles. He builds leverage slowly and listens more than he talks. And when he finally makes a move, it's calculated. In this show, you see him juggling high profile cases while also trying to fix parts of his personal life that are clearly falling apart. It's slick without feeling unrealistic, and the courtroom sequences feel earned, not flashy for the sake of it. You get that confident, smooth operator energy, but in a more grittier and morally complicated world. It's fast, it's clever, and it's character driven. Number two, Damages. Now, Damages is very different. Mary Hughes is not charming in a Harvey Specter way. She's controlled, she's cold, and ruthless. And the dynamic between Patty and Ellen Parsons, who's a young associate she pulls into her world, is what makes this show so gripping. It's not just about corporate lawsuits, it's about mentorship that borders on manipulation, about loyalty that constantly feels tested. Each season revolves around one massive case, whether it's corporate fraud, environmental disaster, or financial corruption. But the real tension is psychological. You're always questioning who's being used and who's actually in control. It's layered, it's tense, strategic, and extremely smart. Then there's Goliath. Billy is nothing like Harvey. He's rough around the edges, often self destructive, and clearly carrying the weight of his past failures. He used to be a powerhouse lawyer. Now he's taking cases that most firms wouldn't even touch. What makes this show compelling is how personal these cases that he takes become. Each season pits him against a different powerful system, whether it's a corporation, a political scheme, or something even bigger. And you can really feel the imbalance. He doesn't walk into rooms with confidence anymore. He walks knowing that he's outmatched and figuring it out anyways. The courtroom scenes are slower, more grounded, but when he corners someone is incredibly satisfying. It's gritty and character driven in a way that feels real. Number 4, The Good Wife. Now, this story starts when Alicia Florrick is forced to return to practicing law after her husband, who is the state's attorney, has had a very public political scandal, and this has turned her life upside down. She steps back into a Chicago law firm after years away, but this time she's not walking in with power. She's walking in with a name, and that name is complicated. It gives her visibility, yes, but it's also very tainted. Some people assume she's only there because of who she's married to. Others see her as carrying the stain of the scandal. So part of her journey isn't just winning cases, it's proving that she belongs on her own merit. And what makes the show so strong is also how layered these characters are. Alicia isn't flashy, she's observant, controlled, and slowly becomes more strategic and ambitious season by season. You genuinely see her evolve. And not just her, even the supporting characters have strong arcs. The morally grey colleagues, the friends, the complicated relationships, all of them. And what I love about this show is the mix of the cases. You get criminal trials, civil disputes, political maneuvering, media pressure, and a lot of ethically grey cases. And alongside all of that, there's real personal drama, marriage, betrayal, ambition, all of this unfolding while major legal battles are happening. It's intelligent and constantly intriguing. And it's also nice to see this from a perspective of someone who has to begin from scratch. Number 5, The Good Fight. Now, Good Fight is basically an extension of The Good Wife, but it feels bolder and more modern. It continues Diane Lockhart's journey after a financial scandal forces her to rebuild her career at a completely different firm. And yes, if you have seen The Good Wife, you might miss some of the familiar faces, but the new characters bring a completely different energy and they're really interesting to watch. The firm that Diane joins is more ideologically intense and full of strong personalities who don't always agree. The dynamics are layered, tensions rise, and everyone has their own agenda. Diane herself becomes more outspoken, more unsettled, and more willing to challenge the system she spent her entire life working within. And the cases, they reflect that shift. They're different, more intense, but the courtroom intensity has not changed. And if you've seen The Good Wife but skipped this thinking it wouldn't live up to it, it's time you watched it. It's bold and surprisingly addictive. So, if you're missing Suits, one of these should definitely be your next watch. Let us know which you're starting with first or if there's any legal drama we should add. Subscribe for more TV, movie, and gaming recommendations and stay in the pop room.